Microphone to you.
This must have been for paint. Is this paint? Obviously I was pleased with the way we responded. As we talked about in the locker room, to be honest with you, we were embarrassed a little bit in the first half on Thursday night in terms of just a lot of different areas. The kids really, the last 2 days, we were pretty hard on them, and I wanted to make sure that we came out and played the Illinois way. That was our whole focus as a staff for a couple days. You don't know what the score is going to be, but we want to play unselfishly. We wanted to play with some toughness. We wanted to execute. We wanted to play with some energy, with effort, connected, and try to do it consistently over the course of 40 minutes. And I thought today, as Jerry Hester just said, certainly with the rendition of this team, we've had UAB and Providence, but those were two completely different teams than today's team. But comparable to those two performances, I thought that we did it in the most consistent fashion. This is something that we have to build on. I'm not interested in doing that just one day or a couple practices. We have to do that every day. That is the standard, and that's the expectation moving forward. Obviously, I thought we got contributions from a lot of everybody that played for us. I thought our guys did a good job defending throughout the 40 minutes. I thought we shared the ball. I thought we executed the things that we ran well. Obviously, these two guys up here were, terrific at both ends of the floor. It's great to obviously have Ken back out there, and then Malcolm played really well today as well. But we got contributions from everybody. So we get a day off tomorrow. We got a week or 6 days or so before we play at home next Saturday, and we've got to, practice with the same energy, same effort, same chip that we had the last couple days. We will take a couple days off this week to get their bodies right here during the bye week. But, moving forward, that effort you saw today, the energy we played with, that's got to be the bar. And really that's as these two know, it's on these two and me and Trace and Jay. So, we've got to continue to demand that from each other moving forward. Questions for the players?
Talking about just how difficult he was on you guys at practice. Can you talk about just how you felt after the Michigan State game, and what were those practices like that were so tough to how he was so tough on you and how you guys responded to that?
He nailed it right in the coffin. He used the word embarrassed. I'll say disappointed, just because that's not how we want to go out. I think from start to finish, they just destroyed us on both ends. And practice honestly has been like hell. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, but I think the key to that is even though practice was tough, we still have to have the mindset like we can't lose our minds. We have to focus on the game plan. I think we did a good job with that. The toughness we didn't have against Michigan State, I think we had it here for the whole 40 minutes.
And Kendrick, can you just describe the emotions of this week? Congratulations, the birth of a child, and then a pretty terrific game personally and as a team.
Thank you. It's been a long week for me. Just staying up. I probably haven't got as much sleep for the past week, but I'm tough, and when I get on the floor, I'm doing what I had to do. But I'm proud of my son's birth, and glad we came out today and get the win.
Malcolm right here. What was your guys' mindset going up against their big guys? They've got a couple 7-footers, obviously good players. What was your mindset in defending those guys and containing them pretty well?
Just being aware of where they are at all times, because obviously they have a bigger height advantage, and they're bigger than us. I think we did a good job, of being aware of where they were at all times, and I think we had good ball pressure, so they didn't get easy finds. There were a few times I remember where they had off-target passes and just went out of bounds just because the person guarding that man had good ball pressure.
Malcolm, you guys have had slow Big Ten starts before, and people might count you out. Just what have you taken from those things to take into this year to kind of bounce back?
And to be honest, I don't really pay attention to what people, could say, whether that's people giving up on us or anything. The people that are going to be with us, we just know that our inner circle, it's going to have our full support no matter what happens. We can't control what happens in the past, but we can control, what happens in the future. Just take it one game at a time.
I guess this could be for both of you because Purdue made a switch in the second half where maybe Malcolm they didn't focus much on you, and Kendrick they kind of left you go a little bit. Just what was the difference there where Kendrick you were able to get going and Malcolm you have to see him do that, and then also you got your free throws at the end.
I'll go first. I think Kendrick had a key start to our second half. I mean, he exploded for 8-9 quick points. He didn't let the first half get to him. I think, all together, I think we did a good job of starting the second half. I'm looking at it. Even though they scored quickly toward the end of the game, we gave up less points in the second half we did in the first half, and I think that was really key to how we played on offense, because we kind of exploded on offense in the second half. And I think one thing that stood out to me was the dunk. I think that's when we really got going.
And as you said, they had let up on one of us. I don't think that's probably true. We both pretty aggressive scorers. That's pretty obvious. And I mean, we just played the game. We shared the ball and read screens and things like that.
This is for both of you guys. Coach said that you have to build on this. How do you do that?
I mean, going to the next practice, just prepared as we did last week before this game. We come with our heads on right, good hearts, and we work hard.
Yeah, like he said, because the way we played today, I think the physicality we played with, at practice is how we played in the game, honestly. Practice translates how we played in the game. So, don't get too happy on this win. I'm probably just going to watch this on my system, after I get out of here. Just going to focus on the next game and what we can do to prepare for that.
Kendrick, just can you give us what was it like to first hold your boy, and does it give you any kind of different perspective on things?
Most definitely, just holding him for the first time, just looking at him was amazing. I mean, and it also gives me motivation at the same time. It's not about me. I gotta provide for my child.
Kendrick, can you describe the play where you fouled out, except that you didn't foul out? How did you talk the referees into that foul?
Yeah, I was pretty on him hard because he called a foul on me, but I was trying to let him know that it was not me. That's what happened. I told the ref to talk to the player. I told our player to tell him that the foul was on him.
Way to be unselfish, Ken.
And you blocked the shot twice in that series. Were you at all concerned that you might be called for a foul, your fifth foul? Did you even think about it?
I mean, I was gonna play it honest. I wasn't gonna foul the guy. I'd go for the ball, but the block shots is what it came out to be.
I guess for both of you again, did you maybe have more opportunities against Purdue's defense to attack the basket? Because it seemed like both of you did a little more of that today.
I think that wasn't the case at all. I think the case was in the first half we were attacking the paint, but when we did that, we know they like to block shots, and I think we found open people. So that set us up for in the second half or later in the game when we started driving. They were more concerned about us passing to their man. I think that's when they became more man conscious, and that freed us up a lot.
Coach Painter said something along the lines of, for you guys to be successful, you two have to kind of play at this level or, play at a high level all the time. And I know it's something we talked about after the Missouri game, too, when you guys both played really well. But is that just kind of the now standard for you guys to have, I guess talk about how you play with each other and then just the standard of keeping at a high level, the two of you?
I mean, yeah, that's always the standard for us to lead, me and Malcolm to lead the team. And just stay consistent with leading the team and getting guys ready to play, and us two stepping up and be elite players.
Yeah, I think a good key to that is, even when one of us isn't playing well, we just make sure that, one of us, still with it. Like I said, Ken had a slow first half. I had complete confidence in him that he was going to explode in the second half because, he's just a great scorer like that. Same with me whenever I'm having a slow start, he'll still tell me to be aggressive and sometimes even be more aggressive. So we just feed off each other.
And can you describe what hell is like for the practice? You said it was like hell. What? Give me a few details.
Bodies
I'm anxious to
flying.
hear this.
Bodies flying and colliding and, words that, not everybody can hear, from the coaching staffs and the players ourselves. So, yeah, people leaving the gym limping. So that's the best I can describe it.
Did you guys visit with Ray at all today? Did you talk to him?
Yeah, we seen him. Came back to the locker room. We met with him, talked to him.
Yeah, I was intrigued that he had the color in his hair. Let him know about that. Like, what are you doing? That's Ray being Ray.
Any final questions for the players? One here in the back.
Malcolm, how much of what went wrong at Michigan State was, I understand the circumstances, but Kendrick not being there and not having that other guy to play off of, not having that other guy who's kind of a leader with you on the team?
We don't have any excuses.
Yep, there you go. It's basically what I was about to say. We've always had next man up mentality. It's not new. I've been dealing with this. I've been dealing with this process since my freshman year. So it's nothing new that we had a guy missing. Just got a game plan with the people we have.
I didn't mean to be rude. I'm also a realist. It makes a difference. Obviously.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
All right, guys. All right. Remember what I tell you, boys, make your parents pay. Get some free food. Questions?
Coach, how much better have your young guys got at understanding game plans and executing those game plans coming
it's
into a game like this where it's really important?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought they were good today. They didn't make nearly as many mistakes per minute played as they have been. We got great minutes out of all three of those guys. I thought Williams was the one of the few bright spots Thursday in East Lansing. I felt him coming on, then he came right back to practice and put his hard hat on and worked his tail off for 2 days. He's getting better at making less mistakes, understanding what we want. Think he's playing harder, and today he earned those minutes, and I thought he did some good things.
John, what did you guys do defensively to kind of bother their bigs? Seems like Mav and Michael really battled and gave you some toughness.
Yeah, I should have mentioned them ahead of the players' question time there, because you're right. Finke and Mav, they're probably going to need a cold tub bath at this point. Those guys really, they were tough. They were physical. They really battled, both guys. And I was really proud of both those guys. We had great support from their teammates off the ball, obviously, but I thought those two, really, really battled.
Coach, you obviously when Hill and Nunn play at that level, you're obviously a much better team. But what specifically did you see tonight that you could, outside of those two, that you could possibly build on to make sure this is more of an ongoing effort as opposed to a flash?
Yeah, no question. That's what we want to do, obviously, is build on it. We made shots today. Sometimes that can be fleeting. Sometimes you make them. But I did think the quality of our shot was much better. I think a big indication of that for me was, we're talking about learning and growing. Played Ohio State. They're a shot blocking team. They blocked 9 of our 19 missed twos. Played Michigan State going into the game. Hey, fellas, they're a shot blocking team. They blocked 8 of them. Today we play Purdue. They're enormous. They're a shot blocking team. They blocked 1 of them. And it's not because, they're obviously very, very gifted, but I thought we attacked them a little bit more intelligently. I was very optimistic about that. I thought our quality of possession was better. But I thought we did a lot of things. As I said, I thought all those guys contributed that played. I thought we needed every minute from everybody. Obviously Hill and Nunn were really good today, and we made shots. But, For me, the big thing for us is, the defense in the second half. You look at the field goal D, the 3-point field goal D. I mean, that was a big step in the right direction. They've got to learn, as we've been on them, about being consistent, for 40 minutes. I've been using the phrase with them a lot lately, consistency over greatness. And I thought today we were consistent throughout. We got to build on that.
John, getting back to DJ's progress, when you're coaching a guy who's a freshman, who's played pretty much exclusively zone in high school, what's the learning curve?
It's monstrous, not just for him. It's not because he's been very well coached, and they did play some zone, as Rob's alluding to, at Simeon, but they also play man-to-man and pressure, and Rob does a good job. But I think for any freshman, there's a learning curve with terminology and new system, and how we want to influence the ball, or play pick and rolls, or play different screens, or all those different things. There is a learning curve there. And we've been hard on those guys, and their teammates have really done a pretty good job of holding them accountable. And there's days probably where they feel like everybody's on them. But, they're getting better. They made less mistakes today. And, quite honestly, I've tried to remind them, hey, just stay with it. The reality of it is, through 16 games, you guys right now have played more than, Black and at this stage in their freshman year. Hill, Nunn, Abrams, those guys are pretty good players. So it's all right, just, but listen to what we're telling you, care at a high level to make some changes. And I thought that, I think that all three of those guys are doing that, and they're getting better.
I mean, you ask an awful lot of Malcolm and Kendrick, and you also talk a lot about consistency. Is it maybe too much to ask of them to score 52 a game?
Well, they don't have to do that. I don't think they have to score 52 a game. I mean, today they did. They made shots, and their shot selection was good. And we had some things that we ran based on game planning and stuff. But yeah, I mean, they're not going to get 52 every time they play. I mean, that's unrealistic. I'd certainly love for that to happen, but especially with the efficiency. It's one thing to get those amount of points and go, what were they, 17 for 27 from the field. I mean, that's efficient. It's efficient offense. More than anything, I want them to be efficient. I thought they attacked well. I thought our bigs were good. J. Cole made shots. I mean, we did some good things.
Coach, speaking to the defensive game plan today, you weren't just serving vanilla ice cream.
Yeah.
Could you talk about the importance of that and guys coming along and learning that?
Yeah, we played the zone a little bit today, and man, not quite as much vanilla ice cream. I don't know if they're ready for sherbet yet, or Neapolitan. I like Neapolitan. My wife hasn't got that in a while. I have to remind her. But yeah, maybe vanilla and chocolate today. But they did well. They executed the game plan well. Both defenses that we played.
Coach, right here. In the preseason, you talked about Malcolm and Kendrick needing to step into that leadership role, and then you mentioned earlier today that they inspired their teammates and stuff. Is this kind of what you were envisioning from them, not just on the court, but that intangible stuff too?
Yeah, they were good. I thought Lewis was good too in that area. I think he's really, it's amazing sometimes you go through things. I thought Ken came back with a new vigor after Kasem was born. I thought that Khalid, having to be secluded in a room for 5.5 days, basketball was taken away from him for a little bit. And you could tell when he came back, his mindset, he's really, not that he's not appreciative before, but he was playing with a different energy level in practice as he started to get his conditioning back, coming back from the illness. So, I think sometimes you go through things and you just got to trust that things happen for a reason. But yeah, I mean, obviously those guys have been good. I thought Lewis was good leading today. Had a great feel for the game, was really competitive. You could hear his voice out there a lot, as well as Hill's and Nunn's.
Coach, a little more on Khalid. Did you think he looked a little more comfortable bringing the ball up against Purdue's pressure than maybe Tate did today?
I trust both of them. I mean, obviously Khalid was good today. We played him a few more minutes than we did, than we did Jay. But that can flip in different games, and we're lucky that we've got both of them, and they're both experienced guys. So I thought that they did a good job there. A couple press things late we got to get cleaned up. I mean, you're in the double bonus. You got 3 timeouts. I mean, it's under 2 or 3 minutes to go. You got to have poise, you know. Like, just call a timeout. There's no need to pass the ball to the other team. I mean, I thought we'll have to learn from that a little bit because they stayed aggressive with that. We had a couple silly turnovers, but we'll have to clean that up.
Coach, I know you and Kendrick and the rest of the team wouldn't have it any differently, but did Ken say anything when he came back along the lines of, I need to make up for the game I missed?
No.
Nothing like that?
We didn't talk about that.
Okay.
That was a no-brainer. You know, obviously I said that the other day. I mean, you know, I don't know if fortunately for me, I do know a coach that I really respect that, and it certainly wasn't his fault. Timing was different, but missed the birth of his child. And, you know, I always remembered that, him talking to me about that. And, you know, I certainly was there for all 3 of mine and wouldn't trade it for anything. And I didn't want him to miss it. I do think he probably thought it was going to happen a little quicker. But, you know, God's in control of that. So I'm just glad he was there and the baby's healthy and, you know, she's doing great. He's doing great.
John, your teams have always had the mindset here of bouncing back from early losses in the Big Ten. Why do you think this team can do that?
Culture. You know, that's just kind of what we expect. You know, Malcolm's right. You know, we can't worry about what's happened in the past. We got to worry about where we're at right now and, you know, getting better, using tomorrow to get some rest, and then getting back at it on Tuesday. Tuesday will be a really hard practice. You know, we're going to get after it on Tuesday. And then a couple practices leading into Nebraska. And, you know, when they play like they did today, I told them in the locker room, and they practice like that. There's no need for us to settle for any less in terms of energy level and toughness, and I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm not interested in that, you know. So they responded the last couple of days well.
Do you believe that one really significant victory like this can kind of right a season?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes it can get you a little momentum, Shannon, I think. Sometimes I'm happy for them. You know, for me, to be honest with you, my whole deal, I kept telling the staff is, you know, what we're about, what we say we're about, how we want to play. We didn't do any of that in the first half on Thursday night. And, you know, regardless of the score, and it certainly wasn't a score that any of us liked in that first half, we just didn't play the right way. And so that part, it was hard for me to swallow. And, you know, we got after it the last couple of days. And, you know, for me, I want us to play well and build on today. Play with some toughness. Block out. Execute. Don't lose your mind. Stay focused. You know, I thought we did that today throughout, but now we got to build on that. I did. I don't know what the new one's called. I have no idea. Ray Rice was disappointed because he said, "You didn't do this when I was here." I said, "Well, you know, Kendrick's had an influence on me. You know, unfortunately, I don't have his rhythm. I don't know what the dance was called today that they had me do. So they were ready though. They had the music pumping in there. I think Ray might have enjoyed it about as much as anybody. He got the biggest kick out of it.
Anything else for Coach? All right.
Thanks.
Just a reminder, we do have a press luncheon on Friday. The time TBA.